Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a JoJo's character tier list. So there are characters from parts 1 through 8 in this tier list, and I'm going to be ranking them A by S, A, B, C, D, E, and F. So I'm going to be ranking which tier I think they are. They will not ranked by which tier, like in the tiers, and I'm not going to rank them which one I like most and least in the tiers. Just going to rank them by tiers. And this video does include spoilers for up to chapter 100 of JoJo only, and so if you are not caught up, please click off this video. It has a lot of characters in it that appear later on, and I just don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Also, I don't know how uploads are going to be the next few days, because for the next few days I will not have access to making videos, so I don't know if I might pre-record some things. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing. I'll have to try to find out what to do. But anyways, let's get right into the video. These are ranked by alphabetical order. I might split this up into 2 videos because I'm going to be gone for tomorrow and the day after, which I'm thinking hope this video, at least part 1, gets up today. But I'm going to try to plan a video for both days that I'm gone, and I might just split this into 2 parts. But yeah, first off, we have Akira Otoshi from Diamond is Unbreakable, the stand user of Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I'm also going to be accounting stands in this, and this is based off how much I like it, so it is fully my opinion. So I don't know, I'm considering a C or a B, because first off, Red Hot Chili Peppers is a pretty awesome stand, and just Akira in general is a very, fun character. Really over the top. So I'm thinking I'm going to put Akira in C or B tier. I'm going to have to put Akira in C tier, because I want to save B tier for some pretty decent characters. Because we got a lot of characters here, as you can see. And yeah, next off we got Alessi, who's going straight to F tier. His stand is but he's just a horrible character, which kind of brings everything down. Easily one of the most annoying characters and just bad characters in all of JoJo. Next, we got Anne from Stardust Crusaders. She was the character that was there for 2 episodes, and I'm gonna have to give her an E tier. Mainly because, Anne didn't really do anything of importance, to be honest. She was there for a few episodes and then was gone, so I wouldn't say Anne is a major character at all, and she just wasn't interesting enough to compare to many of the other characters. Next, we got Anubis. I don't like him, but I don't hate him. He was an character, a decent arc. So I'm going to probably have to put him in C or D. I'm going to give him C, just because I don't dislike him, but I don't like him. Next, we got this guy. I don't know who he is even, so I'm just gonna shove this guy in C tier. I don't know how I feel about this guy. Next off, we got Aya, the stand user of Cinderella. So, she didn't do a ton, but she did inspire a lot of the end of part 4. Next off, we have Catching the Rainbow. So he has a really strong stand, and it combined with the weather report would be just devastating. That would be easily one of the strong. Yeah, weather report is on this list. I was just going to see if he's there. He's a really, really strong stand, an character. It was a cool stand. I like his design a lot, so I'm gonna have to give him a B tier. He's a B tier, is kind of above average, and I think that's a very solid place to be putting him. Next up, we got Boingo, which is actually one of my favorite minor villains from all of what's it called? Stardust Crusaders. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But Boingo, he was a solid character from Stardust Crusaders. He was my favorite minor villain, I'd have to say. Well, not favorite, but he was up there as one of my favorite minor villains. So that's gonna give him probably a C tier. Next, we got Blueford. So Blueford easily. Do I need to explain why I think Blueford needs his own tier? So we're gonna be giving Blueford his own tier. And yep, here we go. So, of course, Blueford goes in Blueford tier. Next off, we got Bruno Bucciarati. So, Bucciarati is easily an A or B tier. I'd have to give him A. A lot of people really like Bruno. I don't like him as much as other people do. But still, I really, really like Bruno. He's easily a very, very solid character. Just, I don't love him a bunch as much as other people do, but I still really, really enjoy him. Next, we got Caesar Zeppeli. A or B. His death was really, really sad. So, I'm gonna, with that, taking that into consideration, I really also just like Caesar in general. He's a very solid character in my opinion. So, I'm thinking, I'm gonna give Caesar an, this is hard. I'm gonna give him a B tier. We can always switch him around later, because I want to save A for characters I really, really like. Anyways, next up, we have, what's his name? I don't remember this guy's name, but he has Notorious B.I.G. I don't like him too much. If we're gonna go off the stand, he's pretty decent, but if we're just gonna go off him, he's a D tier, I'd have to say. His stand keeps him from being an E tier, because he literally did absolutely nothing in the whole plot. His stand did everything for him, so I think that's gonna give him a solid D tier. Chocolata, easily the most evil villain, one of the most, probably the most evil minor villain in all of JoJo in general. And taking that into consideration, he's a B character. He has a really good design. Green Day is a very solid stand, and also just him in general. I just like him. I think he had the 7-page Muda, and yeah. Next off, we have Daya Higashikata. So Daya is either a D or an E. She didn't do anything really, except for that one arc she had with Josuke. Which, I'm probably gonna put her as a D. California King Bad, I think her stand is named, something like that. It's a solid stand. I mean, there's one stand it does remind me of, but it basically, it takes away your memories, and whenever you step on her shadow, you get that memory back. So yeah, I think I liked her stand. She didn't do much. That's the only thing keeping her down. She could have been better, but she hasn't done much. She might do something a bit later though. Next up, we got J Darby. So Darby is the reason for my favorite arc in all of Stardust Crusaders, except for the end. Favorite minor villain arc. I think just for the arc he had makes him a B. Just makes him so much better than any other minor villain. Next, we got T Darby. I'd say he's a D tier. I mean, nothing special. He doesn't compare to J Darby, but he's decent, I guess. The whole gaming arc was decent. Next off, we have Diavolo. Wait, do we have? No, this is Diavolo. Okay, I didn't know this is him before he was revealed. So the Bossu himself is a B tier. I'd say B or A, because I really, really like King Crimson. It's one of my favorite stands in all of JoJo. But just him, he felt a bit. The main thing making, actually, I want to reserve A for really, really good character. I'm going to give him an A tier. I really, really like the dynamic between him and Doppio. Do we have Doppio in here, or is it just him? Okay, so oh no, we do have Doppio. I like Doppio much more than the boss, but I mean, I liked his dynamic with Doppio, but I'm gonna have to give him a B tier then, because I think Doppio is probably gonna get an A tier, depending. It all kind of just depends what else we put up there. Next, we have Diego Brando. A or S tier, I'm thinking. I love Diego. Very, very solid character. I think we're talking about both Alternate Universe and Scary Monsters Diego. Both are some of my favorite characters. I like Scary Monsters Diego a bit more, because I really like Scary Monsters. Twist at the end with Alternate Universe Diego is very, very good. Taking this into consideration, is he an A? Is he an S tier? I'm giving him an A tier. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's quite S tier worthy, but he might have potential later on if he were to do a bit more. Next off, we have Dio Brando. B or C. He's not that. I'm gonna give him a B mainly because of the influence he has on JoJo's. He just is not very interesting as a character. Dio Brando isn't so great, but Dio, on the other hand, I don't know what to do. Because Dio Brando is easily better than anyone in C tier, I'd have to say. Then Dio isn't quite A tier worthy because he's below Diego, I know for sure, but he's above D. I'm gonna have to put him in B tier. So I know like some of these characters can be not like exactly like the same as much as I like them. Like for example, I like Diego Brando more than Bruno Bucciarati. It's more just on it, I do like some people more in each tier, and I like Dio more than Dio Brando for sure. Next, we have one of Dio's sons. I don't exactly remember a lot of their sons' name except for Ungalo right there. So he was a very interesting for one of Dio's sons. Probably my favorite out of all of the Dio sons. So I'm gonna have to give him. I'm probably gonna have to give him a B tier. Better than anything in C tier. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna have to move a few of these things now. I'm gonna put him in E tier because I don't remember him. Boingo in D. Cinderella. Some of these don't. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. So that makes me want to move him down to C. Nah, not him. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid for now. Next, we got my boy Emporio. I'm currently voicing an Emporio in something, which might make me a bit biased towards Emporio, but he was my favorite character in Part 6. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of biased because I really like Emporio because I'm voicing him and I really like him. So I'm gonna have to put him A tier. I'm totally not biased. Next we have Enrico Pucci. He was too built around Dio. He didn't feel as much like his own character. He literally had 3 stands, which not many people get to say they have, except for unless you're Koichi or Johnny Joestar. But I'm gonna have to give him a C tier. I'd have to say he was solid, but he just wasn't quite good for the main villain level. But he did serve his role well. And Yaba, I don't like Inyaba. I'd say Inyaba's an E tier. I don't think we'll have anything else in F, because I don't think anyone deserves to be down there with Alessi, because he's the worst character in all of JoJo. Arena Pendleton / Arena Joestar, whatever one you want to call her. I'll give her a C tier. She's not as good as Bucci or anything else in C tier, but she's not. She's definitely better than. Is Daya deserve to be D tier? Or Stand is Nightmaker go up to C tier? Arena probably deserves a D tier. She's not like a bad character for sure. It's just she didn't stick out to me, and she doesn't compare to a lot of the people in C tier. Next we have Hermes Costello. Solid character, solid C tier, I'd have to say. I think that's a perfect position for her. Because, again, like, I don't know. I never really enjoyed Hermes. I really like her stand Kiss, though. This is a really solid stand, in my opinion. And yeah. So next off, we have AC/DC. How do I feel about AC/DC? He's my least favorite minor villain in all. He's my least favorite. One of my least favorite of the Pillarmen. I don't like AC/DC a ton. I don't like Cars though either. I'm gonna have to give him a C tier. I don't really dislike him, but he didn't do too much for Pillarmen. He only had 1 fight, which is kind of because he had that 1 fight with Joseph, but it was an awesome fight. I'll give it that. Next, we have Foo Fighters. B tier for sure. Very interesting case of stand in a human body, which I think is very, very cool for a character. But yeah. Coming up next, we have, I don't remember his name. He made things small. D tier. Coming up next, we have Funny Valentine, easily one of my favorite villains in JoJo, tied with Yoshikage Kira, but an S tier for sure. You can't take S tier away from him. I don't know how much I need to explain myself. D4C is such an amazing stand concept, and Love Train is just so cool. And just Funny Valentine in general is very charismatic and makes me just like him a lot. Gyacho, I give him a C tier. He was probably my favorite La Squadra member, if I had to guess. He's just insane and I love it. And White Album is eh. Giorno Giovanna, B or A, I'm thinking. I used to like him a lot more, but I would have put him in S tier a little while ago, but I don't think he's S tier worthy anymore. So I'm gonna have to put Giorno in A tier. Yeah, A tier I think is a pretty good place for Giorno. Next we have Mista. He's better than Giorno, but he's not quite S tier. I like Mista a lot. He's really funny. Next off, we have Gyro Zeppeli. Of course, if you've watched some of my past videos, Gyro is my favorite character in all of JoJo, so he's definitely an S tier. I don't need to explain too much here. He introduced Spin. He's like, he has the best jokes in all of JoJo. He did the pizza song, and he literally is just, he's so good. And his death was really sad. Hato Higashikata, E tier. D. Yeah, D. Hato didn't do enough. It hasn't done enough yet to make me put her any higher than a D tier. I guess Walking Heart, I don't think it's that bad of a stand, but I just wouldn't put anything higher than D tier. Next, we have Hayato. So Hayato is solid. He basically inspired all of the end of part 4. I'd have to give him a B tier. He was very solid he felt like the main character for a while, which I really enjoyed. Whole Horse, I think he fits pretty good in B tier. He's one of the better minor villains in Stardust Crusaders, and I just like him. Hot Pants, don't feel too strongly about Hot Pants. Probably a C tier. I don't have many strong feelings for Cream Starters and stand. I just don't really like Hot Pants a ton. Next, we have my boy Iggy, an A tier for sure. I love Iggy so much. My dog even looks like Iggy quite a bit. And I just love Iggy. He's a fun character. His death was one of the saddest in the series. Definitely, in my opinion, the saddest in Stardust Crusaders. But yeah, Iggy was just such a good character. Illusio, stand user of A Man in the Mirror. C tier, I guess. D tier, just because the lack. He didn't do way too much, so I don't really feel that strongly toward them. Next up, Jobin Higashikata. Jobin's a very solid character. I hope he's still alive. I hope he didn't die. But I'm gonna have to put Jobin an A tier. I don't know if he's dead, but he was a very good character. I like the Stag Beetle fight, and his stand is overpowered, and I don't think he's the main villain, because he's actually trying to help his son, and that's not that evil when you think about it. And also his power, I don't think is interesting enough to be a main villain's ability. Next off, we have Johnny Joestar. A or B tier, I'd have to say. A, I'll give him an A. I'm putting too much in A, I think. Okay, if we're gonna have to take some from A. Bruno and B, and Giorno and B, I'd have to say. I think that's pretty fitting. That's a good change. Johnny has just so much development across the part of, Steel Ball Run, and I just think he's a very good character for that. He had the most development of any JoJo across the part, I'd have to say, except I think Jotaro had the most development of any JoJo, but over just one part, Johnny definitely takes the cake. Jolene, solid JoJo, not my favorite JoJo, a B tier. I think Jolene's good, but definitely not my favorite. So this is where I'm going to be leaving off this video, and tomorrow, part 2 will be released, so stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.